It's time for a new product video. Those are my absolute favorite. I get so excited when Seint has new products. And today we're talking about all of the things that you can use to elevate your overall look, both with makeup and now with hair care, which I'm so excited about. So if you think this video would be valuable to you, be sure to stick around. As always, I'm so grateful that you're here. Don't forget to like and subscribe so you never miss a thing. And let's dig in. I'm gonna start with the products that I feel like are the hardest for me to show because it's hair, and one of them you do in the shower. So let's talk about the Seint Cloud Cleansing Cream. It is incredibly appropriately named because when you think of a cloud, you think of light and soft and feathery, and that is my experience with the cleansing cream. A couple things to note. First of all, it's a 2-in-1. So I was like, is it really gonna be as good as the founder says it is? And here's the thing, our founder is a product formulation specialist. That's why it takes a while to get new products with Seint, and she only puts out things that she thinks are valuable as opposed to trendy. So these hair care products have been in the works for over 2 years, and I will say, I think it was worth the wait. So the Cloud Cleansing Cream, now that's a tongue twister, is a 2-in-1. So you're gonna use it in replace of a shampoo and conditioner, and it's just gonna be the one product that you use to clean your hair. It is non-sudsing, which I am familiar with. My current shampoo was non-sudsing, but I do wanna show you. It literally looks like a cream. So what you're gonna do in the shower is one pump in your hand, and you really want to like lather it up, but it's not gonna suds. It's kind of like a moisturizer, right? And then you're gonna go in right on the roots, get it in there really good, use the remnants down the shaft, and then the most important part is to rinse. You wanna be sure that you rinse it out completely, like I'm gonna go do with my hands right now, and I'll be right back. Okay, we're back. My first impression when I used it, it was on 3-day-old hair. I had just gotten out of the sauna, and earlier that day I had worked out, so I was like, okay, this is like the cleanse of all cleanse. And I can honestly say I was blown away by how clean my hair felt, but also how soft and light. I have a lot of hair. It is fine, thin hair, but I got a lot of it. Ask my hairstylist, and I can tell you that's all I have in my hair right now. So for the purposes of demonstration today, all I did was wash my hair. Again, it was 2 days. I did sauna and workout today. I did use the cleanser. I know you can't really tell a whole lot, but then I used one of our new brushes to blow dry it, and this is what we look like right here. I have no qualms about saying that I will replace my current shampoo and conditioner with this guy, and it is 33.8 ounces. So I was like, okay, I need to do the math here on like 33.8 ounces. Am I getting my money's worth? And like I said, I use salon quality products. And when I broke this down per ounce, it was like half of the cost of what I was getting in the name brand stuff that I was using. One I buy at the salon, the other one is Amika. I love them. And here's the thing, I'm like, I'm not a hair care specialist, so how do I talk about this? All I know, what I care about is, does my hair feel clean? Does it keep oil at bay? And I will say my hair feels less oily on day 2 with this than it did on anything I've used previously. Is it sleek? Is it shiny? You know, is the frizz at a minimum? All of those boxes were a check. All those boxes were checked, but mostly in the past I've gone off of what smells the best because generally they all feel the same. And yes, this smells very good. It is a very clean smelling. It's not overbearing at all, but the smell is on point. But I will say this is the first time that outside of smell, I had a noticeable difference, and it is definitely in how light and soft my hair feels. So not knowing anything about hair care really, I went and I dug into the ingredients, and I'm gonna share a couple with you here just to see how this all-in-one product like really does it all. And when our founder came up with the formulation for it, it seems like it's really on point, both in my experience with using it several times and with what the ingredients say they do. Here we go, the Cloud Cleansing Cream. I went and took the ingredients, I did the research on what they do, and I broke it down into all the things that the ingredients say. We have moisturize, replenish, dehydrated hair, softer and smoother hair, products that reduce frizz, that are for anti-static, conditioning. There is a conditioning preservative, one to lift dirt, debris, and oil. One reduces hair splitting, another provides a slip. Another provides a slip to reduce tangling. And I will tell you this, I haven't used a detangler in my hair after washing it since I started the product because I wanted to see if it actually helped detangle. And in the past, I shampoo, I condition, I need a detangler, and I have not needed one on this. So I can say checkbox there for the slip to reduce tangling. Woo! Heat protectant from styling, chemical treatment, and UV pollution. Phospholipids to promote hair growth. Glycine to promote hair growth, and treating a dry scalp to help with dandruff. Fight free radicals and antioxidants for the scalp, replenish hair and moisture balance, fight against breakage. I would say that sounds like a winning combination, and in my experience with it, the product really is quite exceptional. It can be used as your 2-in-1 conditioner, or you can also put a little bit in your hair for a hair treatment. So our founder is really big on multi-use products, and that's actually like the theme of this whole release, is all the different things that you can do with these products. But you can definitely use this as a shampoo and conditioner, and then you can use it as a treatment. The only thing that I would probably do is, as somebody who has blonde hair, I would probably be sure to rotate in like my purple shampoo, just to make sure that I am keeping the integrity of the blonde, and then occasionally a clarifying shampoo, just to make sure that I'm getting my hair and everything completely like void of all of the oils and whatnot that you get with the different products, both the cleansing cloud and the next one that's coming. But outside of that, like this is gonna replace your shampoo and conditioner, and I 100% think it's worth it. The next product that has been on repeat for both me and my daughter, and you'll see we're already working our way through the bottle, is the Heavenly Hair Gloss. Now, I am a lover of hair glosses. I have tested a lot. I have a personal favorite, and this is right up there. First and foremost, the smell is out of this world amazing. Like, it truly is the best smelling hair gloss that I've ever used. The product is also multi-use. You can use it as a scalp treatment, which has been my favorite way to use it for myself and my daughter. I used it for her when she got back from 3 days of sleeping in a cabin on a school trip, and she was like, "Mom, you have to teach me how to do this all the time. My hair is so soft. It smells so good." And I mean, she's not kidding. So my favorite way to use this is as a scalp treatment. Smells incredible, hair incredibly soft. You can also use it as a heat protectant. And if you're gonna do that, so when your hair is wet, I'm talking like this is a less is more product. Like this is how much I would use if I was using it as a heat protectant. So I would put it on my hand, rub it in, go through the ends of the hair, anywhere that you have breakage as well, and then you could use it for styling and blow drying after that. It is also a finishing product. So what I'm gonna do now is I'm going to go put some curl in my hair and show you how we can use it as a finishing product. Hair is curled. Now, when I use a finishing gloss in my hair, I like to leave my curls kind of intact. I haven't brushed them, I haven't touched them, I let them cool a little bit, and then I grab the gloss. And again, you're gonna wanna test product amounts as to what works. You know, we've had a big chat going since our convention to see what works for different types of hair, whether you have curly hair, whether you have fine hair, whether you have thick hair, you know, long hair, short hair, and everybody, you know, has been using different amounts kind of based on what their hair needs, both with like the pre-treatment, if you're doing it for like a scalp treatment, or if you're using it as a finishing gloss, product amounts will matter. So if you're new to hair gloss or hair oil, then you'll know that you kind of have to test it out and see what works. But one of the really cool things about this product is that the oil that gives it this nice, sleek, shiny finish is actually like a quick evaporating oil. And that's why it doesn't weigh your hair down, is because it dries and evaporates quickly. So I like to put it in my hair, and now I take my comb, and Seint is introducing a comb. Look how pretty the bag is. So it comes in this little leather thingamajig, and then you have your logos on both sides. It's a really beautiful comb. I would say it's, you know, it's just a comb, but it's a pretty comb. You know, probably not the most like, oh, that's a different sort of comb. It's just a comb, but it's a beautiful comb. And what I like to do after I put in my finishing cloth is take a wide tooth comb, this one or other, and that's when I actually like run a product Instead of my fingers, I like to run the comb through my hair. It helps keep frizz down. But this is how I would use the gloss as a finishing product. Now, I did look up some of the ingredients to see what this bad boy was all about. And the actual description online: softens, smooths, hydrates, protects and restores damaged hair and an irritated scalp. And when I was looking up the ingredients all aligned with the description. But the one that I thought was important was the quickly evaporates to prevent hair from feeling weighed down. And I would agree, it adds no weight to the hair. It does not feel oily. It doesn't look oily. It's really a nice product. Deep treatment, for me, my hair felt exponentially softer when I used it as a deep treatment than it did when I used my Olaplex. So that says a lot. That's kind of, my comparison is really compared to what I've used before. And I will say my hair feels softer and more hydrated than when I use my Olaplex. Again, can be used as a thermal protectant. It will protect your ends and damaged areas of your hair, and then finishing product to enhance shine. And if you have any loose or frizzy ends, you put this on and it just kind of seals it all back in. So for the actual products, we have the cleansing cream and we have the gloss. Those are the two new ones. They are both multi-use. And I think from launching hair care, they are really quite exceptional. Now we're gonna talk tools, because what is hair care without tools? I already showed you guys the comb. I'm gonna show you guys my favorite of all the tools. This is the Detangle brush. If you've used a wet brush before, this is the wet brush, but way better. First of all, it's super lightweight. You're not gonna believe how light it is. My daughter, 100% wants this brush. This is what I used when I used the Heavenly hair gloss. And after I used the gloss as a treatment for her, we used no detangler or anything else. I ran this brush through and I was like, okay, what do you think? And she's like, it feels so good on my head. I don't have any tangles. It's not gonna rip your hair out. Look how soft the bristles are. They are all capped. It is flexible, which is awesome for going through the hair. It makes your scalp feel so good, but it's also vented. So here's when I use this brush. This is what I use in replace of a wet brush. So I take a shower. I haven't used a detangler yet with any of these products. I use this. I actually run it through the hair. All my tangles come out, and then I blow dry with this because it's vented. So it actually dries the hair quicker. Then we have the classic brush. So this is the dual bristled brush with the pad on the inside. This is your heavier dry brush. Now this one, for me, I was not prepared for the level of scalp treatment that I was gonna get, because I only have a dual bristled brush that has caps on the end. So be aware, this is how it's supposed to be in order to promote a healthier scalp and healthier hair. But you have to use it softly when you're beginning. So it's not it's painful or anything, but it's just different. This is what you want to use on dry hair. So at the end of the night, remember that episode of the Brady Bunch, or how Marsha's always running her brush through her hair? That's this guy. So this is actually really good midday. If you have straight hair, it will smooth your hair, it will add shine back to your hair, and then this is the brush that you want to use when your hair is not wet. Of the two of these and the comb, this is my favorite, but they are bundling things together for a reduced price. So if I had to choose, I would choose this one, but I have used both since I got them, and I think they're both very lovely. We also have the French hairpin, which is returning. My love of the French hairpin is meh, only because I have fine, thin hair. So if you've used a hairpin, I can't even find mine. I can't even find mine right now. If you've used a hairpin before, there is a method to the madness. So while I think it's beautiful, for somebody with fine, thin hair, it doesn't stay in my hair very well. These, on the other hand, are gems. So you're like, oh, it's a claw. Yes. A 2-pack of claws, super affordable, super beautiful. They're not glossy. They're that matte black finish, but here's the magic. They are triple pronged. Can you see? There's one here, and one here. Why do you care about that? If claws don't stay in your hair, that's why you care about it. So my girlfriend who has short hair, we got these at conference. She's like, nothing stays in my hair. Stayed all night. She wore it to one of the formal events, poofed her hair up, put it in, stayed all night. My daughter, fine, thin, shorter hair, stays all day. Me, I don't have claw clip issues, but I just particularly think it's beautiful. So these guys for me were a win. Is there anything else? I think that is I think that's my hair care 101 for the new release. Okay, before we move on to makeup, I did want to say here are some of my like top tips in case I didn't say it before. With this guy, you want to make sure that you get it into the scalp, run it through the hair, and then the key is to make sure that it is fully rinsed. As people were product testing it, those that didn't thoroughly rinse it thought their hair felt heavier. So when they got into the chat and were like, okay, what am I missing here? Since it doesn't lather, you know how when like your shampoo lathers, like you see it all come out, so you kind of know it's all out of your hair. This is different. Like I showed you, it's like a cream. So the most important thing is to make sure you rinse it all out, and then your hair is gonna feel cleaner and softer than with anything else that you've used. I cannot stress enough, this is a less is more product, and one that you're gonna need to test the actual amounts on your hair to get the look that you want. But I think for myself, my daughter, and anybody that I've talked to, once you figure out the amount that gives you the look and the feel that you're going for, you're gonna love it, especially the smell. I feel like right now, skin is in, less is more, hydrated, glowy looking, both skin and makeup, kind of that glass skin look is what's in right now. So I'm gonna introduce the new products to you and show you how you can kind of achieve a less is more look, but for somebody who has mature and imperfect skin who's not 20 anymore. And we're gonna start with the Plush Prep Mist. I have very much been enjoying this since we got it. You guys know I'm not a fan of primers for the sake of primers. So this is called a prep mist. It has skincare ingredients with it, but it does provide a little bit of tech. So I feel like for my girls that have been looking for a primer, it is silicone free. This is a good one without getting your skin so tacky. If you're using the e.l.f., if you're using the Hydro Grip and you have problems with your makeup blending, those are really tacky primers. So this guy is kind of the best of both worlds. So let's talk a little bit about the ingredients. First of all, it's silicone free, if I didn't say that, which you know, no silicones under your Seint makeup. But also it has hyaluronic acid, glycerin, and botanical extracts. These are for hydration, balancing skin tone, and strengthening your skin barrier. And it's actually the glycerin, and you'll see, such a nice mist. The smell is amazing, but it's very light. You'll see it gives me a little bit of a dewy look, and as it starts to set onto the skin, it's gonna feel slightly tacky, but very, like, just a little bit, just enough tack, but it's not gonna make the makeup hard to blend. I've been using it, I've been testing it. I was like, how do I even explain this? It's also really cool for a makeup refresh. So let's say you go to work all day and you come back, you can spray this on. Your makeup's already emollient, but it will give you kind of that refreshed, glowing look. You can add a little bit of makeup from there. And like I said, it literally smells amazing. So let's do an easy 4-step makeup look using this as our base. And then I'm gonna show you the 2 other products that we have. When going for the glass skin look, that just means hydrated, dewy, glowing. What I'm gonna do for a less is more makeup look, and I feel like this works very well for somebody who likes a simple routine every day. First things first, I'm gonna color correct. You see that right there? I'm gonna take Mango Highlight, which is my specific color corrector. I can match you to yours. The thing about this makeup is it's all customized to you. So I know when looking at your skin tones and what you tell me that your concerns are, I will look at the depth of discoloration on your face and make a recommendation as to where you can spot treat some of that discoloration first, because then we can use overall less makeup. Like, look, just from adding the smallest amount, like I'm talking putting this on the tips of the brush, you see the difference from here to here, and my skin is still glowing. So again, I'm using my personal color corrector shade, which is Mango, and Mango works for a lot of people, but not everybody. It truly is contingent on your skin tone. I have redness and broken capillaries around my nose, darkness under the eye. I have sunspots. I've had a ton of hormonal acne scarring because I'm a notorious scarring picker, which I highly recommend you do not do. The reddest or the darkest point of my face is almost always my chin and nose. So I'm just buffing the smallest amount into there. And now I will be able to wear just a little bit of my main highlight shade and we will be good to go. I'm gonna go ahead and quickly do the other side. You'll see I have this acne scarring here, darkness under the eye, broken capillaries, a little bit of redness on the cheek. And here's the thing, a lot of people go right in with their main highlight shade, and then when they have days where their discoloration is worse than other days, they find themselves having to put more and more makeup on, when really the key to Seint for mature skin is matching the darkest points of your face first and being able to use overall less makeup than trying to use just the traditional main foundation, or brightening highlight, and contour. This little trick is a total game changer. If you need a color match to see if you would benefit, I use this on my eyelids, but you can find the color match in the description below. You can find everything in the description below. Anything that we're using in the video, it'll be down there below. My favorite new necklace that everybody has been asking me for links for, I'll link it below. It's an Amazon favorite. But just know that you can find me through email or on other social medias. Everything is linked below, so you can reach out. I will help you. Now, the reason that I'm doing my eyelids is because my eyelids have a lot of blue and purple in them. And for today's look with less makeup overall, it's important for me to reduce the discoloration on my eyelids so that I can have an even skin tone, including on my eyes. And that will look awesome if I don't wear eyeshadow, or it will help my eyeshadows that I do use actually look like the color in the tin, because I'm gonna get rid of all the darkness first. Now we're gonna move on to our main highlight shade. So I color corrected first with the highlight Mango, and now Hazel is actually my current main highlight shade. This is the shape brush. I'm just getting it on the tips. You guys, I just deep cleaned all my brushes last night. Look how white they are. They literally look brand new. I'm like, oh my gosh, this is such a great way to see exactly the amount that I'm using. But anyways, you should deep clean your brushes once a month. The less dense the brush, the lighter the makeup. So if you like full coverage, you're gonna wanna use a brush that has very dense bristles, like the Buff brush. If you like very light coverage, you can use this one right here. It's the shape brush. And all I'm doing is I'm going to tap on anywhere that I would traditionally put foundation. And it's going to be very light, but I am putting it on top of where I color corrected. The color corrector goes under your main highlight shade, but I am pressing. I don't want to sweep because I put my color corrector in a very specific location, anywhere that I had discoloration, right? The point being is this goes on top of it. I don't want to move it, but it is the combination of that color corrector and my main highlight shade that are going to match my neck, my chest, whatever it is that I personally like to match. And when you do a color match, you'll tell me some people prefer their face to be darker than their neck or their chest. Some people prefer it to be lighter, and some of us like them to be exactly the same. So you'll tell me what it is, and I will send you a step-by-step guide so that you can achieve that accordingly. I'm also going to tap a little bit, and I'm going to go onto the eyelid. Your color corrector typically has more yellow, orange, or pink in it than your skin tone does, because we're targeting the deepest color. So this goes over top to make sure that now everything matches, including my eyelids. I'm gonna stick with the shape brush for my next step, which is gonna be bronzer. And you guys, I'm gonna use Xanadu, which is the Bella Bronzer Glow Illuminator combo that is finally back. Bella Bronzer is my absolute favorite bronzer, but I am not gonna lie, I have been mixing it with Glow Illuminator for years. So now that I can get it pre-mixed, one tin, one cost, yes please. So I'm just gonna put this on the high points of the face. We're not doing any contour today, so where the sun would naturally hit first, but I'm gonna go a little bit across the top of the forehead to create that dimension that contour normally would, but without the intensity. So just a little bit of added warmth. Then I'm gonna do a little bit here. And again, we're just pressing because we don't wanna move our shades underneath. And I'm gonna create a little bit of glow in this area here. Same thing here. This is where we naturally get a tan, naturally get a little bit sunburnt first. You can go across the nose if you like, and then you can even go down the neck. So if your head is darker than your neck, which is not abnormal at all because our chin comes out, covers up our neck, you can add a little bit of your bronzer down your neck and it'll make sure everything is really seamless. Now, I'm gonna flip the brush over. I'm gonna get a little bit on the bristles and I'm gonna use this in the outer corner of my eye. And I'm not worried about being super precise with it. I'm just trying to create a little bit of depth to the outer corner. And this is going to be what my eye makeup looks for today. So I neutralized my eyelids and then I added a little bit of this Xanadu bronzer here, kind of flicking it out to keep everything lifted. And for this less is more look, this is gonna be it. Now, I don't know if I should share this because I'm not sure it's ever coming to you, but I can't help it. This is the gifted shade we got at Over the Rainbow. And it's a really pretty, really pretty red orange. Over the Rainbow was the theme of our conference. So Wizard of Oz, Over the Rainbow. And it's very lovely. I'm just gonna use a little bit to create a flush. And if it comes out one day, you'll be ready. But we haven't been told that it is, so. Just gonna create that flush. You can go up here. I'm actually gonna add a little bit to the outer corner of the eye. And of course, we have to add a little bit to the lips. You could line your lips, but this is actually a semi-gloss and I'm loving the pop of color. My favorite way to wear it has been in combination with the lip oil, which is available now in the loyalty shop. Let's talk about our last two products because I see that I'm losing light here. So it's starting to cast a shadow, which always makes you look amazing on video. So let's talk about the setting powder. So we have our traditional vanilla dust setting powder and now we have our new feather blotting dust. I have lots of notes here again. So the feather blotting dust is actually really comparable to the NARS Crystal or the Ambient Hourglass. It's just Seint's version of it and way less expensive if I do say so. But when it comes to setting powder, they're both translucent powders. Your vanilla dust is gonna mattify, where this one is going to give more of a glow. Your vanilla dust is talc based, where this one has a silica base. So they're both gonna absorb oil. They're both gonna be great for setting your makeup. But I do think for a mature face in areas of high texture, I would prefer a mattifying setting powder, where if you really like the glow, the dewy look, you're gonna want the feather blotting dust setting powder. For me, because I have a lot of texture in this area right here, I would probably stick to the vanilla dust here around my smile lines and in my T-zone, because if I do get oily, it is in my T-zone. And for oily girls, this one will be better in areas of oil. For the other areas on the face, like if I wanna set my blush, but I don't wanna lose that glow, I would use this one. In areas where I like to put an illuminator, I would use this one. If you're less concerned about texture, you could absolutely use this all over. Let me see if you can see the difference. So they're both translucent, but this is vanilla dust and you'll see it's very mattifying, where this is the feather and you'll see it has that sheen. So here's the feather, here is the vanilla dust, and I would actually apply them a little bit differently as well. With vanilla dust, I like to take my powder brush and I like to press in one time and go to the areas, and this is where the sun going down is not going to help me, but I like to go to the areas that I wanna set that have a lot of texture. So under the eyes, in my smile lines, and then in the T-zone. I was to do that same thing with this, I would immediately look like a lot was going on under my eyes. So for this, I'm actually going to use the wash brush, which this is not. This is the wash brush. So I would use either like the big fluffy end of the blend brush or the wash brush. And I would put a little bit on, make sure I tap off excess, and then I would come into this area here, and you're gonna see you have that sheen. Do I still have it with the sun here? And this is how like that ambient hourglass one looks. And I think it's a beautiful dupe for $16 or $18 when I think the ambient one is like 56 and the NARS crystal is like 40. The other areas that you could put it on top of your blush, and you could set that and still have a glow to your makeup. The only area that I'm gonna use it a little bit heavier with a pad like this is I'm gonna use this, and you'll see how much it picks up. I'm going to blot off the excess on the back of my hand, but I'm gonna use this to set my eye makeup. So like I said before, I'm only using my creams on my eyes. Creams don't set. So traditionally, I would set it with the Vanilla Dust setting powder, but I'm like, how fun would that be to be able to set my eyes with a little bit of sheen? And this is all the eye makeup I'm gonna do today. Now, if I wanted to put eyeshadow on top of that, I could, because I've set the creams and given myself a really smooth surface. But for the purposes of just kind of that easy, simple, natural looking makeup look, I do wanna set my creams so they don't crease, and now I can have just a little bit of illumination and some sheen. Let me show you. I'm probably gonna regret this. But if I were to take my powder brush and go in that same way, let me get close for you here. You guys hear my son and his friends playing? Okay. Do you see how that is not super forgiving with this area of texture? Like, you don't want to apply it this heavily. You see it has a beautiful glow, but my under eye area is not pretty. So let's try and wipe a little bit of that off. If you do want to use it under the eye, I would use it with the wash brush, but just for the purposes of seeing how application differs and where one product, you'll see I have a little bit more shine here than I do here. So our Vanilla Dust is going to be more mattifying, where this one is going to provide you a little bit more glow, which I really like in the blush area. And it did actually tone that blush down a little bit, because while it is translucent, I do feel like that sheen gives it a little bit less like of the sheerness. Like there is a little bit to it. So I am very excited about using this. Oh, I don't know if you hear the kids, for using this to set my eyes and get that nice sheen, for using it in areas where I really want to glow. Me personally, mature skin, I'll be using it in combination with the Vanilla Dust. I added a little mascara because I was feeling naked on the eyes, and I feel like when I just use creams on the eyes and create a very simple eye look, it's really important that I do mascara, because now you can really see that at the lash line, I just have a neutral color, and then here on the outside, it's actually created like that very simple eye look. Let's talk about our last product, which is called the Fixate Setting Spray. Now on the website, it says that it can be used under makeup or over makeup. It has dimethicone in it. Now, not everybody is partial to the silicones, which is why I know Seint says that you can use it under your makeup, but dimethicone is a silicone. And unless you know that silicones don't bother your makeup, I would just use it as a setting spray. We currently have a setting spray. You guys see me use it all the time. You probably just don't know it because I have it in this bottle. So Seint's setting spray works incredibly well. If you like to set your makeup, you can set and mattify with a little bit of powder, and then over top, because creams don't set. Remember that, creams don't set. They're always gonna be moving, they're always gonna be mobile. To get maximum longevity, you wanna color correct, and then you wanna make sure that you set it. So this is our traditional setting spray. The bottle looks beautiful, but for some reason, it's hard to use. So what I am most excited about with the Fixate spray is truly the improved bottle. So when you spray this one, if you spray it just a little bit, it will squirt you right in the face like a water hose. You have to really press down to get any bit of the mist, and that confuses people. because if you don't know to press it down harder, right? And people are always a little nervous when they go to put on their setting spray, so they tend not to go all in. You got to go all in on the spray with this one. This one is still, you get enough spray, but it's much more of a mist. The thing that I use, where's my makeup? Okay, here it is. The thing that I use my setting spray for all the time is for my brow wax. So you need to activate your brow wax. Grab your spoolie, which I couldn't find. Run your spoolie into it, and now this is how I lift and set my brows. Literally, you can have all your makeup in one palette, guys, other than my mascara, right? So this will help hold my brows and set them in place. So I do that literally every day. When your makeup is done and you want to set it, the Fixate spray will be great. The main difference, again, between the old one and the new one, in my opinion, is the bottle, but also there is a slight ingredients tweak, if you will. The old one has pretty much just aloe vera and then 17 other ingredients. This one has aloe vera and coconut water, and coconut water is known to help with hydration. So that's pretty much it. If you had to ask me one over the other, I think for the simplicity of the bottle, I would pick this one, but you do need to press this one all the way down too. It's not as easy. Like this one, there's only, like, that's just it. That's what you get right there. With this one, you do need to press down all the way. And then I say 2 or 3 sprays and you will get all you need to set your makeup. You want to let it dry down a little bit. It smells delightful, just like our old setting spray does, but it does have the addition of coconut water. At first I was like, does it have coconut oil in it? Because if you're like me and you are acne prone, I stay away from products that have coconut oil. This does not. It has coconut water. So it's all the benefits of our old one with some added hydration. So this is the Fixate spray. I think it's lovely. I'm a huge fan, where'd it go, of the Prime Mist. I think it does a great job of adding a little bit of tack, a little bit of radiance to your makeup. It feels like added skincare in a bottle. So these two are lovely. This one has the little bit of gold. This one has the silver. And then we have our Feather Blotting Dust, which again is going to be a setting powder that is great for adding glow. I would use it in conjunction with my Vanilla Dust setting powder. And that's it. What do we think? That is our less is more makeup routine for mature skinned women, those of us that don't have perfect skin, but still like to cover things up just a little bit and have that glowing, radiant look. If you have questions, put them in the comments. If you need to reach me, my email, all my accounts, everything is below. If you need a new color match because we are heading into the fall and you are losing some of that warmth that you have in your skin from the summer, or you're new to Seint and just want to get started, color match is also in the description. I hope you guys found this video helpful. October 10th is the release date. Mark your calendar. All these lovely products go live, and I'm excited to see what you guys pick up. As always, I'm thankful that you're here. We'll see you next week.